I love Alton Brown, so please join me as I cook through all 4 volumes of the Good Eats cookbooks. This week on the AB project.
3, 2, 1, and spin.
Finally doing the steak you claim. Heck yeah, let's do a steak.
This is momentous, not only because it was the very first episode of both Good Eats and Good Eats Reloaded, but also because steak is kind of a big deal to me. This is my family's cattle ranch in Alabama where I am presently living, so I get to see these just about every day. Most folks don't buy their steaks while they're still part of the cow though. They get them like this, or like this. Either way you slice it, let's cook some steak. Cooking steak is one of my top 5 favorite things to do in the kitchen, certainly up there with baking, frying, ice cream making, and canning. The wheel really did say, Brianna, February is going to be all about doing some of your favorite things in the kitchen and making them very, very difficult, but I'll get to that momentarily. The OG method involves searing the steak in a hot pan and then finishing it in a super hot oven. The reloaded method is more or less the same procedure, just done in reverse. I have done the reloaded method several times before and it's always yielded consistent results until this week. I don't know what happened, but the probe thermometer I used was not accurately reading the temp and the steaks got grossly overcooked. Check the difference. OG. Beautiful, perfect, rare to medium rare. My botched reload. Sad, brown, well done. Not quite done yet though. Volume 1 featured a bonus recipe for steak sauce built on cognac and blue cheese. If you couldn't tell from the face I was making, my palate is not one that appreciates the distinctive funk of blue cheese. But nothing in the AB project can be skipped, so I must set aside my own personal preferences and carry on. You're welcome. I paired mine with some mash and roasted Brussels sprouts. Let's see how it tastes. The OG was like heaven on the tongue. The first bite of a well-prepared steak always just sings like nothing else on earth. I will say this for my poor reloaded steak. Even an overcooked ribeye is still a pretty flavorful piece of meat. The steak sauce was surprisingly very good. The cognac canceled out a lot of the funk of the blue cheese. That wasn't the end though. I felt bad that the reloaded version didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. It really is my favorite method for cooking steaks, so I decided to give it another go. Now I can hear some of y'all maybe asking, hey Brianna, is all this really worth it? Well, check this out. Oh my land. Anyway, fair warning, this method does generate a ton of smoke. It does not need the oil the recipe specifies, trust me. Paired with a baked potato and some roasted asparagus, and you have just about a perfect plate of food as it can get. Now if y'all will excuse me, I'm off to find a new probe for my thermometer. Thanks for watching and I'll see y'all real soon for part 9.